Hello, hi everyone. So today we are going to talk about the important topic, which is the future of AI in Salesforce and a practical roadmap on how do we prepare ourselves to be ready for the future in Salesforce with AI coming into the picture. I know this is a very important topic and a lot of us are already thinking about it. We are already planning on how the things are going to change in the overall Salesforce landscape with AI coming into picture, and of course Salesforce investing so much into AI, right? And there's a question that I have been getting a lot from a lot of Salesforce working professionals plus people who are trying to make a career into Salesforce, at how things are going to change. Is there something that they should be doing differently? So here I am. I'll be talking about a few key things here. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the AI in Salesforce. How is it going to change things? What does it mean in the Salesforce overall landscape or ecosystem? Is it going to change something? That's something which I'm going to talk. Will it impact the overall job market in Salesforce, or the way Salesforce professionals learn or build their skills around the Salesforce ecosystem? That's a very important question. What are the skills that are required for us to be prepared for future? Let's say if someone still wants to stay relevant 5 years down the line in the Salesforce ecosystem, what skill sets they need to develop over and above the general the basic skills that are anyhow required. And of course, towards the end, I'm going to quickly talk about if I were to start my career in Salesforce at this point of time, how would I plan my learning and how would I basically start my preparation for future. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this particular video. All right. So future of AI in Salesforce, why this is important. So why are we even having this discussion today? Why is this important for us to have this discussion? First thing, there is so much of an AI hype everywhere. So now if you see, there is everywhere you go, everyone is talking about AI. And I'm not just talking about the Salesforce ecosystem. Everywhere, every tech stack you go, people are talking about AI. So everyone is excited about AI. Everyone is worried about AI to some extent. Everyone is thinking, oh, what can I do with the AI? What will AI do? And what sort of impact I will have in my career growth or career opportunities in future? So that's an important question. And not just that. When I speak to some of the clients, I've been getting two questions very frequently from a lot of my clients. So first question is, they ask how can they improve some of their processes, etc. How can they improve their existing implementations using AI? So what is the scope of using AI to enhance, improve whatever they already have? That's one question that a lot of clients ask. Second question that I keep on getting very frequently from clients is they want to understand what is the possibility of reducing some of their team, the development team or something with the help of AI. So of course, that is associated to a bit of cost cutting. Every company wants to reduce cost. So that is something which is already running in the mind of a lot of clients. So I have got this question a lot of times where they want to understand, companies are willing to understand what is the possibility of using some AI and then try and reduce some of the team size, etc. So that is, the clients have already started thinking about it. All right, and that basically brings us to the next point that we have here, which is about the fear among the professionals. Now, since clients are asking this question, there is certainly a lot of fear among the professionals, the Salesforce developers and the consultants, and everyone is worried. And not just Salesforce again, let me say that this is a universal problem. Give me a moment. Yeah. So by the way, this is not just the developers, this is a universal problem, right? So fear among professionals has become a problem or a concern universally, because the tech professionals are worried, how is AI going to impact the future of career opportunities, jobs, etc. in the overall tech industry, right? Third important thing, I'll talk about this, whether we should actually be worried or not worried, if AI can actually impact the job roles, how it can impact, and what can you do to ensure that you do not get impacted or you are prepared for things which are expected to come in future. So I'll talk about those a little later, but let's understand the third part also. Third important question why we need to have this discussion right now is, there is so much of confusion. Why everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone understands that AI is drastically changing the overall scenario, and it is going to have an impact in future, in coming years. It is going to have some sort of an impact. But how to deal with that, how to be prepared with that, there is a lot of confusion about that. While there can be a lot of information available today, but there is no clarity. It's all the information is just overwhelming. There is no clarity on how do we approach, etc. All right. So for that, I'm also going to talk about a bit of roadmap, how you can be prepared about the skill sets that you can build over, say, next few months or maybe next couple of years, to be more ready to deal with the changes which are going to come with the involvement of AI. All right. So now let's get into our next point, and let's address the most important thing first. And I get this question a lot, and it's not just coming from Salesforce developers. Again, it comes from a lot of tech professionals in general, and it comes from a lot of, I've heard this question a lot from people who are in college, etc. They are really worried, concerned about, okay, will AI actually take up the jobs? Will AI actually eat up the jobs, etc. So though that question, that fear is there, whether it is valid or not, whether it is genuine or not, I'm going to talk about that right now. So first of all, let's understand this very quickly. AI will not replace Salesforce developers. AI is not going to replace the Salesforce developers, and AI cannot, in fact, replace Salesforce developers. Not just Salesforce developers. AI cannot actually take the role of what human beings are doing. All right. However, what AI does, AI is something which can help you do things faster, but AI cannot be made responsible for doing something. So if I have a CRM application, I cannot give the CRM application to the AI that, okay, fine, you go and build this completely on your own. I need people who should monitor what AI is building. So AI can just help you accelerate things, can help you do things faster, but AI is not going to replace the developers. So that statement is true, and that stands valid. So I think that should address some of our concern. However, having said that, developers who use AI certainly will. So while AI cannot replace developers or Salesforce developers, however, this is true today also, and it's going to become more true as we move forward. There will be developers who use AI, who use smarter way of building things, and then there will be developers who do not use AI. All right. So the Salesforce developers who use AI certainly will replace other Salesforce developers who do not use AI. But AI itself is not capable of it. So if you are concerned about it, you should be not concerned about AI, because AI is there to help you. AI is not there to. AI is not your replacement. AI is something which is going to help you do things better, do things faster. However, if you are not adapting to the new skill sets which to work with AI, other people who have used or who have learned to use those skill sets, technologies, techniques, etc. with AI, they certainly can replace you. So they are the ones who you should be worried about, and not actually about the AI. All right. So now, having said that, let's quickly understand in the overall Salesforce ecosystem, where are we today? So where do we stand today? So Salesforce, as I said, has been, of course, it also has to, Salesforce has to enhance or up their game in the AI space, because otherwise it does not stand very relevant in that the AI I would say AI market or AI space that we have today. So of course Salesforce has also done considerably a lot, and AI is now in Salesforce. So I know maybe a couple of years back or 2-3 years back, when we used to have discussions around AI Salesforce, we used to talk about whether we will have AI in Salesforce, whether AI will be able to do this in Salesforce, whether AI will be able to do that in Salesforce. We used to have those discussions maybe 2-3 years back, right? Now AI is already in Salesforce. So this is not a question whether AI will come into Salesforce or not. That is not a question anymore. The question is, how deep will AI get into Salesforce, right? So that is the important question that we have here right now. So where are we today? There are several things. We have Einstein GPT, we have Copilot, which is being used for generate a lot of code. We have Prompt Builder, we have AI agents in Salesforce, and we have agent builders also in Salesforce. So it's the AI platform in Salesforce is pretty strong, and it is a lot more beyond just helping you write code. It can basically, so Salesforce is not a tool which was earlier just being used for storing data. Now it can look into the data, it can use its intelligence to make decisions, it can suggest actions, and just not suggest actions, even the AI agents are capable of taking the actions on their own as well. So that's how powerful AI component has become within Salesforce. So that's the current scenario. Now the important part, now while we have understood the situation, let's try and understand what AI will change. So of course there is going to be change, or of course things have changed and there are going to be more changes, but what AI can change versus what AI cannot change, let's quickly understand that. So what AI will change all the boilerplate Apex and test class generation. So a lot of time for those who have some experience or have been using Salesforce for some time, or have been writing code in Salesforce for some time, would agree to this, that there used to be a lot of effort which we used to put in, writing all the Apex code completely, and then writing the test classes and all that stuff. So which was which used to consume a lot of our time. Now AI will certainly change this. Now developers are not actually required to sit and write the entire code, and not required to sit and write all the test classes, etc. on their own, right? So there are better, faster ways of doing that. SOCL optimization. So yeah, of course, if you want to take help of AI to optimize your SOCL queries, that's something where AI will change things. So it's going to certainly help in that space. Documentation and debugging, of course, AI will help in that area. It will help make these things faster, better. So that is going to be one important thing. Flow logic, AI based flow builders, flow suggestions, all those things, or logic suggestions, logic building, etc. That is going to drastically change, and some of that has already changed. A lot of people have started already using AI for writing Apex, SOCL optimization, and everything, right? But it is going to drastically change in, let's say, next 1 to 2 years, right? Now let's quickly also understand what AI will not change or cannot change. So AI would not impact your data models. AI would not impact your business process understandings. If you have a business process understanding, AI possibly can be trained on this to a certain extent, but it will not be able to replace you in terms of business process understanding. So you understand the requirement, you understand the process. That is something which is going to be with you. Security, sharing, compliance, all these things, of course, AI cannot take over. These things. This is where you would have better control. You will have better understanding of things. And overall architectural decisions, again, while AI can suggest, help, assist, AI cannot be made responsible for architectural decisions for any app, right? So these are the things which AI cannot change, or which will certainly not get impacted, and which means that you have to be prepared. So I've seen a lot of Salesforce developers who really are worried only about the code. So they are very good with syntax, they are very good with code, but they hardly understand some of these things. They're not bothered about it. They're like, oh, okay, fine. So if you are one of those, please start focusing on these things, because these are going to be important, and you will eventually find that things are slightly changing, improving, or more, expectations will drastically change. So now coming to the skill stack. So what should be an ideal? So basically, what comes into mind is, okay, fine, what sort of skills should we build now? So what should be the ideal Salesforce developer skill stack? All right. So let's quickly understand this. So for the Salesforce developer skill stack, first thing, of course, let's talk about the old stack. So I have basically listed it in two places. Sorry. Yeah. So I've listed it in 2 places. So one is the old stack. The old stack is still important. It is still relevant. So there is no replacement for that. So your Apex, LWC, SOQL, SOSL, flows, all this knowledge is still very, very relevant. So I hear sometimes people say, do I still need to learn Apex? Yes, of course you do need to learn Apex. So there is no alternate to not learning these things. You need to learn Apex, you need to learn LWC, you need to learn SOQL, SOSL, you need to know the flows, because if you do not understand these things, AI cannot help you, right? So you will not be able to use the AI the way you want. All right. So old stack, this still remains important, and this is the most important thing. In addition to this, the new stack, which is, you can consider the new stack as additional learning or skills that you have to build, are things like AI assisted flow designs, prompt engineering, governance and hallucination, design thinking. So overall understanding things in a broader scale. So if I have to say that just don't be a coder, be a solution designer. So you should, what AI cannot do is, AI cannot propose solutions, AI cannot think of solutions, etc. So even a developer, because now, so earlier if a developer was spending, let's say, 2 days in writing a code, now a developer is not required to basically spend 2 days in writing a code, because it can be done in a much lesser time. And eventually a lot of people have started understanding this, right? So what is the role of a developer? So what is the developer required to do? Now, whatever the developer was doing, so if the developer was doing his activities at this level, now AI is able to handle the activities at this level. So you have to try and improve your level. So you'll have to basically go one level above and then start doing things, because someone else is already capable of doing what you were doing earlier. Now you will have to basically start monitoring what it is doing and what it should be doing, right? So that's where it has to be more of understanding the overall governance, performance, design thinking, solutioning. So that's what you should be more focused on. So these are the skills that you need to develop in addition to what you already have, or what are the basic development skills which are required. All right. Now let's talk about the learning roadmap. So how should we plan our learning? What are things we should try and learn over, let's say, next 12 months or so. So I have just prepared a small learning roadmap for those who are really looking forward to enhance or improve their skill sets. I've broken it into 3 phases. So the first phase is 3 months, the next phase is again next 3 months, and the third phase is 6 months. So this is the first phase. So in the first phase, you should basically try to master flows. Flows is very important, and I still see a lot of developers are still not very comfortable with the flow, or not willing to use the flow for some reasons. Of course, I understand, but flows are certainly something which Salesforce is also pushing a lot, and flows are going to be important. So first thing, try and master flows. Start using Copilot daily. So try and start using Copilot, because that's something which is going to be again pretty much useful, and that's something which is going to be a lot more integrated in our day-to-day coding, etc. Use AI for test classes and refactoring. So for all these things, start using AI and see. Again, using AI does not mean that you write a code in AI and then you copy paste and then you feel or you give it to the client. It doesn't work that way. So AI should be able to give you the overall framework sort of thing, but it will, in 99.99% cases, it will not give you a perfect code. So you will have to still have a very good understanding of the code. You'll have to basically look at the code, and then you'll have to see what all changes you need to make. So it's not like, okay, fine, the AI would generate the code, I would just copy paste the user story. I've seen developers doing that. They copy the user story, put it try putting it in ChatGPT and try to get the code, and then this code is doing completely something else because it actually does not understand. So maybe the language, etc., whatever it is. So you have to be smart enough. So start using AI for your test classes, etc., but in a smarter way. Try and understand things, not just copy paste, right? So that would be the phase 1. The next phase would be, as I said, next 3 to 6 months. So first 3 months you do the phase 1. 3 to 6 months you try to learn Prompt Builder, which is already there in Salesforce. Understand Einstein use cases. Try and understand a little more about Einstein. So there are these tools which are already part of Salesforce. So try and understand, learn more about this, and try to build at least one AI powered internal app. It would be good for you to explore a little bit around Einstein, Copilot, the agents, the agent force, prompt builder, agent builder, some of those things, and try to build, even if a simple app, try to build an internal simple app using AI and using AI capabilities which are available within Salesforce. Now the third phase is going to be the important one. This is where I have kept this for 6 months. So in this, you should ideally try and build core skills, okay, which are going to be seriously very relevant. So first one there, I would say, try to learn AI plus data cloud. Data cloud is actually important. Why it is important? I'll tell you. AI completely works on the artificial intelligence, basically gets its intelligence from data source, right? So it is very, very important that you try and understand data cloud, because usually with Salesforce, the thing is that most of the times we are not used to storing a lot of data in Salesforce. Because Salesforce storage is expensive. Salesforce bigger data in Salesforce starts impacting your performance, etc. So all these years we were like, yeah, we'll keep minimal data on Salesforce, whatever is required on the cloud. There was this concept we used to use a lot, which was like on cloud versus off cloud data storage, etc. However, for your AI to function properly, for your AI to learn things properly, a lot of information needs to be available. So AI basically feeds on the data cloud, or on data basically, right? And data cloud is the platform for Salesforce for storing the data. So understanding how AI works will not possibly happen without data cloud understanding or learning. Second important thing is industry clouds plus AI. Now, since things are drastically changing, and you may have noticed that Salesforce has now introduced the industry clouds also, right? Now, two advantages of learning industry clouds, and you do not have to learn all. You may pick 1 or 2 or 3 maybe at the max, and try and learn and go deep into that. It will give you 2 advantages. One, there are a lot of companies who have already started using industry clouds. So for example, the financial services companies have started using financial service cloud. Automotive companies are using automotive cloud, or they are planning to start using automotive cloud. So that is there. So one, that skill set actually adds up to your profile. Second thing, if you go a little deep into industry cloud, you start gaining industry knowledge as well. You start understanding specific business processes about that particular industry. How does the business work, etc. So this gives you a solid understanding of business processes, etc. also, which is a plus on top of your all development skills and all, right? And then agent based architecture, AI plus flow plus epic. So you try and understand how do these things work in collaboration with each other. So that's going to be the learning path for next 12 months you can pick. So tentatively I've put these like 3 months, 6 months, 3 phases. For some of you it may be a shorter duration who are fast learners. Some of you may take a little longer. Yeah. Now let's talk about what I would do. So as I promised, I am going to quickly talk about a few things what I would rather do if I was in this position, if I had to start my career at this point of time. How would I prepare myself? So these are a few key points which I would possibly think I would possibly do, and I could think of these things. So first of all, I would definitely learn Salesforce fundamentals very nicely, because now the game is slightly changing, right? So now your skill of earlier, I know 5 years back, it used to be really, really important to have a very good programmer in your team, right? Because he could save you a lot of time. Okay, now it's not the same, right? So if you are, and there were a lot of developers, I worked with a lot of developers who were just good with the programming. Their biggest I would say key point or plus point for them was that they were really good with programming. They could write program, they could basically debug the code, etc. They were fast with that. That's fine, that's good, a good skill. However, but now if you do not know the fundamentals, as I said, the expectations are going to be slightly more. So if you are super good in writing program, of course that's something, there are tools to do those things in a faster manner, right? So firstly, be very, very good with Salesforce fundamentals. So now there is no alternate to being very good with Salesforce fundamentals. So try and learn Salesforce fundamentals deeply. How does the overall platform work? What are its limitations? What are the performance issues, etc. So try and get as much knowledge as possible in these areas. Second, use AI as a mentor and not as a shortcut. So sometimes as I said, I gave this example, right? So do not try to copy paste the code. So it's not a shortcut, it is more as a mentor. So it can do certain things for you, it can assist you, use it as an assistant, but you should be doing the main part. If you do not do that, then very soon you will be in trouble. Everyone will start understanding. Now everyone knows, your team lead knows, your architect knows that there is a possibility of generating code from AI, right? So if you're completely just copy pasting, things will not work properly, you will have bugs, etc. And you will be then impacted with that. All right, so use AI more as a mentor in a smarter way and not just as a shortcut. Build real projects, not just certifications. So okay, important, very important thing again. Of course, certifications are important in Salesforce, but Salesforce certifications have never been able to be as important as the real skill sets. All right, so and that's something which is true today also, and with all this concept of AI coming into picture, etc. So your certification knowledge is really fine, but it is something which will possibly not give the confidence to your recruiter to recruit you for a particular role, right? So you should have real projects knowledge. Try to do some real projects, take small scenarios, try to do projects, try to do real hands-on on things. All right, and not just the certifications. And the last, which would be, you should focus on why and not just how. So now it is not important of how do you do this. If you understand what are we doing and why are we doing, then how are we doing is something where you can certainly get a bit of assistance from AI to do that, right? To how to reach there. So it is about why. Why is very important, and even before why, possibly what are we actually trying to do, and then why are we trying to do. So these are two important questions. Try to ask these questions, try to understand these things in each project that you are part of, each user story you are part of, each refinement session that you are part of. Try to get answers to these, because if you understand those things, that is something which basically differentiates you from what Copilot can do versus what you can do, because you understand things, you can ask questions, you have a better understanding of things. There are a lot of factors which you only can understand, and an AI tool may not be able to understand. So these are a few points which you can possibly try and use in your learning plan or learning roadmap. If you feel that there is anything else that I can possibly help you with, or I can give suggestions on, please feel free to put a comment for that, and I would try and do a video on that as well. Thank you.